The Knicks came into Saturday afternoon's matinee with the Denver Nuggets as the sole team in 5th place in the Eastern Conference standings at 41-30. With the one-seeded 47-23 Nuggets led by MVP candidate Nikola Jokic coming to town, Madison Square Garden was all but guaranteed to be full of fans traveling from all over the world to see number 15 for Denver. However, he was met with boos during his introduction from an energized Garden crowd that this time of year was coming out to see a potential playoff squad. Now, after being questionable to play after missing several games with the foot injury that had been lingering from earlier in the season, he tried it against Sacramento. Foot was no good. Jalen Brunson was joined by Knicks president of basketball operations Leon Rose center court to accept his Eastern Conference Player of the Month award. It was as successful of an afternoon for New York as it was a February for Brunson as they defeated the Nuggets 116-110. The brief pregame award ceremony must have fired Brunson up. He scored 16 points himself in just his first 8 minutes of action. Now, New York had an 8-point lead at the end of the first quarter, 9 points from Julius Randle, Jamal Murray with 8 leading Denver, but Denver's bench unit was not a sight to behold as the Knicks held their lead steady to open that second quarter. It was when the starters were back in the game for Denver that the Knick lead began to dwindle, and in the second quarter alone, Jokic had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 points, and Jamal Murray ended it with back-to-back threes to give Denver an 8-point lead. Now, the half was all but done. Randle extended it just a bit longer with an and one that reduced Denver's lead to 5 at the break. The pace of the game slowed down in the third quarter, but the Nuggets followed up on winning the second quarter by 13 points well. They extended their lead out to double digits just halfway through the third. Now, the Knicks upped the intensity in regards to their rebounding and their shot blocking. They were able to turn the tides of Denver's runs and go on one of their own. They ended up winning the third quarter by 5 points, headed into the fourth in a real battle with the West's top team. Now, New York played their own game throughout, and despite some ill-timed turnovers from Julius Randle, some rough shots for Jalen Brunson, the two were both instrumental in the game's closing minutes and securing the win for their team. It was several big-time plays from Mitchell Robinson, however, that were the real story here for New York in the game. Now, following Robinson utilizing social media to complain a bit about his lack of offensive involvement, he claimed that he's wasting his time on the court doing cardio. Well, he came out and showed fans exactly what he's known for. Slammed down a late alley-oop, contested Jokic several times with that pogo stick athleticism, and Jalen Brunson threw him that lob to put the game away. 22 seconds left on the clock. The Nuggets just dribbled it out. They didn't think this one was worth it. Even Tom Thibodeau was smiling and cracking jokes in his post-game presser, a sign that he knew to take in the moment of taking down one of the league's best players on one of the league's best teams. Denver is now 1-5 in their previous 6 games. Head coach Mike Malone said postgame that they need to address the amount of offensive rebounds they allowed New York to grab. Mitchell Robinson had 7 on his own out of the Knicks' 15. Josh Hart spoke to his physicality and style of play that affected that rebounding after the game in his postgame press conference.
Game, Aaron Gordon settling, positioning in the post, and you literally punched the ball out from his hands. Do you feel like sometimes, not playing a different sport, but that you bring a physicality that's just kind of rare?
I probably am playing the wrong sport, honestly. I'm just, how I play is physical. It's like a bull in the china shop kind of thing. So I feel like I probably would have been like a good, put on some weight, good DN or something, a linebacker. You know, I like physicality, but you know.
The New York Knicks play again on Monday against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who might be missing Anthony Edwards. He recently had an injury. We'll keep you covered, so stay tuned to all of the WFUV Sports social channels and outlets so you can be covered on all things New York sports. I'm Kris Pursiainen signing off from Madison Square Garden.